is soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push a pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have to ask to be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do. Okay, to leave a little bit undone and be the cat in the sun. Be the cat in the sun.
Well, hey, how's it going, y'all? Checked out of one hotel room in Oklahoma to check into another hotel room in another state. The girls flew home to Florida, but I flew to another state for a work trip. So, yeah, but look at this room. Walk in, has a nice little kitchen area. And then over here, little desk area. Not bad, right? It's a pretty sweet room. King size bed, bathroom, full closet. Not bad, not bad. Also, look at this food, y'all. Look at these wings, y'all. It's a 20 piece, got some fries. They're delicious, ranch. I'm a ranch guy. But if you clicked on this video, you didn't click on it to hear any of the stuff I just talked about. That was for the regulars, I guess you could say, the Brown Brigade. But the Okie Homestead Expo 2024, let me finish eating and then we'll dive into it. All right, y'all, so I have finished eating and that was a great meal. A really, really great meal. But yeah, let's dive into the Okie Homestead Expo. So let me turn on my narrator's voice, which this monotone voice I have is perfect for this kind of video, I suppose. So I thought that we would take a different twist or put a different twist on the Okie Homestead recap video. There's going to be a lot of channels out there, many of them great friends of ours that are recapping their time at the Okie Homestead, speaking to you about their experience and all of that good stuff. So wanted to put a little bit of a different twist on it, so you're not essentially watching the same thing for the 12th, 30th time. I thought we would make a video on what you can expect at the Okie Homestead Expo. So based on a lot of the conversations I had with people who went to the expo for the first time this year, which was so many of you, there were so many of the classes that we were in, and that question would be asked, and more than, I would probably say more than 50% of the room would raise their hand. So there's a lot of people who went for the first time this year, and I have a sneaking suspicion that at the rate the expo is growing, we're going to see the same thing next year. So what can you expect? What should you bring? How do you prepare? These are questions I want to answer for you today, simply so you are prepared. So this is a great video to watch right now. And if I can remember, I'll re-upload this next year as we approach the expo. So as people are searching next year, they'll find the video and be prepared. So let's dive in. First thing first, when you're planning to come to the expo, because of the growth of the expo, I would say as soon as you know or confirm that you're coming, go ahead and get your hotel room. The expo takes place at the Mays County Event Center, which is right near Pryor, Oklahoma. There's not that many hotels. There's 3 that come to mind. and they fill up quickly. A lot of people who had a great time and have a great time at the expo, they confirm as early as right now, today, while you're watching this video, that they plan on coming to the expo next year. And as soon as the dates are released, they book their hotel. If you follow our channel, you already know that Natalie and I have been going through some things personally with one of our children. So we were unsure if we were going to make the expo this year. Because of that, it was very last minute when we decided that Natalie, Egypt, and I were going to the expo. Because of that, all of the hotels in a 30-minute radius were just about sold out. We were lucky enough to find a hotel in Claremore, Oklahoma. I'll list on the screen right now some cities that you could look at if hotels happen to be sold out when you're trying to book. But the whole point I'm making right now is as soon as you know, try to get in one of those hotels in Pryor, Oklahoma. Um, that puts you at about 15 minutes from the event center, which is great. We were at we were out in Claremore, Oklahoma, and that put us about 25 minutes to the event center. Now, coming from where we live in Florida, 25 minutes is like around the corner because we have to drive at least an hour to anything. So to us, that's not far. But if that sounds far to you, then be proactive. Get your hotel. The next thing is the way the expo is designed. You want to get there by 8:30 in the morning on both days because that's when the event kicks off. Everyone meets in the main hall and there's usually great speakers. The MC for the past 2 years has been Daniel Arms from Arms Family Homestead, and he does an amazing job. He's very personable, just really kicking things off. And then, of course, you'll hear from Kevin from Hidden Heights Farm and Dutch from Keeping It Dutch and their families, as they're the ones that put the whole event together. And then the day gets started. Now, one thing I will point out about the expo is that it's not designed for you to be able to see and touch everything. They do a great job of putting together kind of like a run of show or itinerary for both days. The event is typically 2 days. So what you should do is get that itinerary, which they post online before it ever even kicks off on their Facebook page, and map out your days. That's going to be key. You really don't want to be flying by the seat of your pants on Expo Day. So I'll get the itinerary up on the screen for you to see what I mean, but it's important because each hour of the day is laid out. You can't see it all, and it's not designed for you to see it all because there's different strokes for different folks. Not everybody's going to be into everything that's available. So it's important for you to say, okay, at 8:30 we're going to the kickoff. At 9 o'clock we're going to this class. At 10 o'clock we need to run over to that room because we want to take that class. At 11 o'clock we need to go over to this other room because we want to listen to that class. 12 o'clock we're going to do lunch. 1 o'clock we're going to go to this demonstration or this class, right? You see what I'm saying? So as you're looking at the layout of the day or the run of show of the days on the screen right now, hopefully that's painting a picture for you to say, okay, I want to learn about chickens. Now I want to learn about guinea processing. Oh, I really want to learn about livestock guardian dogs. I want to learn. So you have to figure out what you like so that you can ensure that you're in the right place at the right time. Now, that's one tactic. Another tactic you could try, which I see many couples do, is there's the divide and conquer. So you can kind of be in two places at one time. So, for example, while I was in the livestock guardian dog class, Natalie was in, I want to say it was the Whispering Willow course on sourdough making. Um, so we divided and conquered, right? So just something to take into consideration. But moral of the story is map out your days. It's going to save you so much time and potentially some frustration, because as the expo grows, one thing you'll see is that the classroom seats fill up very quickly, and there's a lot of seats. So if you already know where you need to be, you could get to that location quickly and snag yourself a seat so you're not standing. Which takes me to my next tip. If you're driving into the expo, it may be worth it to bring some chairs. Let's say a classroom does fill up. Well, if you brought your own little folding chair or, beach chair or whatever you picnic chair, whatever, the little collapsible folding chairs. If you bring your own chairs, if a room does fill up, you could just pop up the chair and you still have a seat, right? So that's something worth considering, and many people do that. Um, Dutch, Kevin, their families, the organizers do a great job of making sure there's plenty of seats. But what a great problem to have that as many seats as they have available, the classes fill up. So that's something to consider if you just want to have like a contingency plan in case seats do fill up. So one of the other great things about the expo is there's so many great vendors, and I'll throw the footage up, but you have people that you could speak to and learn from about livestock guardian dogs, soap making, bees, all you need to know about bees, aquaponics, soil, spinning wool, spinning alpaca fibers, chicken tractors, freeze dried candy, arts, crafts. I mean, the list goes on. There was someone there about soil management. Premier One was there. There was at least 100 vendors, y'all. The list goes on. So, the cool thing about where the vendors are set up is that it is undercover. So if the weather takes a turn for the worst, you're out of the elements. And if it's really windy, because it is Oklahoma, they even can, shut certain roll down gates and things to kind of protect you from that wind. So overall, I would say the setup for the vendors is amazing. 10 out of 10. Now, I brought up the weather in Oklahoma. Make sure you're watching and paying attention to the forecast and bring clothes just in case. Everyone jokes in the southern states, in that part of the country. So Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi. The running joke in most of those states is if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And it's true. It can go from warm to windy, a beautiful day to raining, back to being a beautiful day, then it's windy, might sprinkle in a little snow. Like, you never know. So just make sure you're paying attention to the forecast so that you can ensure that you pack appropriately. And I would even throw a hoodie or a coat in there just to be safe, because the weather person's not always correct, right? So that will just really help you ensure that no matter what kind of weather you experience, you're prepared, right? Because what's cold to me isn't the same thing as what's cold to someone from Nebraska, for example. So pack accordingly for you. Now, most of the vendors are cash. It's not a cash only event. There's plenty of vendors there that have their square machines where you could use your card, or Apple Pay from your phone or whatever. But a lot of the vendors are, mom and pop, small businesses just getting started. They don't want to or haven't, developed their business to the point where they can afford paying for the Square service. So many of them are cash only. I bring that up so that as you plan for that Friday or Saturday, stop by an ATM at the bank, get cash back at Walmart, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and come with some cash so that you're good to go. There is not an ATM on the event center grounds. Maybe that's something that could change in the future, but as it currently stands, you want to bring cash so that if you see something you like or something you want to participate in, you know that if they take cards, great. If they don't take cards, you already have your cash. I mean, you see all the great vendors on the screen. You don't want to miss out on the opportunity to buy some of their crafts or their information that they may be selling or whatever it is. Bring cash just so you're safe. That's also going to help you with a lot of the food trucks or food vendors that are there. Some of them took card, some of them were cash only. So you'll be safe no matter which route, okay? Next, I would say come prepared to have a good time. This is an expo that is about fun and about learning, right? It should be a great time to relieve some stress, get away from your property, your homestead for a little bit. And if you don't have property or a homestead, it's a great opportunity to learn. Maybe you want to get into it one day, or maybe you're just one of the people that loves one of the channels that are going to be there. And while you're going for the expo, you just really want to meet your favorite creator. Whatever your reason for coming to the expo, have fun, interact, network, mingle, meet people, right? A lot of us go to the expo every year. 2025 will be year 4. So there's so many of us that have seen each other on year 1, 2, or 3, and we go to the expo and we look forward to seeing each other again because we made friendships at the expo, and it becomes just this annual, almost like family reunion as you meet people at the event. So mingle, get out of your comfort zone and interact. One of the things that I love about all of the like speaker series is that you can ask questions and they want you to ask questions. What a great way to have subject matter experts right in front of you that you can speak with and learn things. My favorite course in the expo this year, hands down, was the livestock guardian dog course. So, as a Texas fan, I can't believe I'm about to give a shout out to Texas A&M, but as you can see, they're the ones that led the livestock guardian dog course. This is a cool sticker that I got, and the doctor that was from Texas A&M, what a great guy, full of wisdom. Like, I'll tell you right now, if they are back next year, if you see them on that itinerary or that run a show, go to this course. That was my favorite course, hands down. Full of knowledge and wisdom, great ideas, best practices for like birth of puppy all the way through adult. And I learned so much. So that's a perfect example of like I got my money's worth with this. So that's a perfect example of learning at the expo. So make sure you do that. Now, Natalie and I's Egypt as well's favorite vendor there is Ma and Pa. So you probably see it all over, social media during expo time. But they're the ones that have the popcorn, the kettle corn, and the cheesecake on a stick. Favorite vendor, food vendor that's there. But one of the cool vendors that was there as well this year, the past 2 years actually, was a Cherokee hog. I think that's what it was called. It was like a Cherokee hog cook-off. No, like I think it was a Cherokee hog fry. I'll put the correct name or terminology on the screen, but that was pretty cool. The plate was amazing, looked good, and it was only $10. That's another thing that I'll point out. I made the joke with many people over the weekend, but although inflation has hit the entire country, as someone that's living in Florida, going to Oklahoma, I was shocked by the prices in a good way. Cost of living in Florida versus Oklahoma like really blew my mind. Because that plate was only $10, but we went to many places like Brahms, for example, where the prices, like I almost wanted to make sure I was paying the right thing. If you're from that area of the country, you're not going to be probably shocked by pricing because it's probably similar for you. But if you're coming from like an expensive end of the country, like the East Coast or West Coast, the prices in Oklahoma will really blow your mind in a positive way. So the next thing I want to go over are some food options. So just going to throw on the screen some food options for you, but there's some great Mexican food options, some good pizza. The one that everyone loves to go to, myself included, is going to be a place called Country Cottage. They have amazing food, buffet style, just great food. So if you plan on going to the expo in the future, the restaurants that you see on the screen right here, go ahead and take a screenshot. So maybe you can even map that out, your dinner plans. Like, hey, this day let's try pizza. This day let's go to Country Cottage. This day let's try, Mexican food, whatever. So just want to throw those on the screen for you. And yeah, that is our wrap up of the expo from 2024. Really, 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 really looking forward to the expo next year, which will be year four for 2025 and 2026 and 2027. Just really looking forward to the expo in the future. But if you're planning to go to the expo in the future, hopefully you found this video helpful so that you can make sure you are set up for success and prepared to go as you plan your trip and actually experience the expo in the future. If you found value in this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We would really appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next time.
That way, every now and then, to remember where I came from and who I've been. I turn